And all the girls is talking about the 4B movement. Are all the girls going to participate? Heck no, because some women gotta have a man on their arm.
Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How you all doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video, it is a very interesting video and we're talking about the aftermath of Donald Trump being elected as the president of the United States. And this has gotten a lot of women in frenzy, especially the fact that the no rights to your body, abortion laws are going to take in place. And this is due to what has been expected that once Trump gets in, a lot of women will not have access to their body. Like you don't have a right to your body, you don't have right to abortion and all that. And this has really stemmed the conversation and what as women, what we can do to protect ourselves, and especially the women in the United States, what they can do to protect themselves, why they are in that situation to protect themselves. And this has raised a lot of resistance from women, where some women are shaving their hair in respect of joining the 4B movement. If you don't know what the 4B movement is a movement that started off in South Korea, where women said, you know what, we're not going to engage with anything that has to do with men. We're not going to marry men. We're not going to date men. We're not going to have children with men. We're not going to have sex with men. And that's the 4B movement in Korea, and that's kind of make a wave into the Western world, generally in the world. Even on social media we are talking about it, telling women, you know what, take a pause on men, look after yourself, center yourself and all that. And this has struck the conversation of women also giving tips if this movement will even work in the United States, if this is a way for women in the United States to protect themselves. Anyway guys, let's go check out a video because some women are even shaving off their hair in respect of joining the 4B movement. So let me know, will you shave your hair just as a sign for you to say, to tell people a movement, just for a movement, for you to say, you know what, let's do the 4B movement as women? So let's go check out women's response to this and let me know what you think. If you think the 4B movement is a way forward for the women in the United States, especially the fact that they will have no right to their body. So let's go check out the video and then we'll come back and talk more.
So this is what we're doing. To my liberal women who voted for Harris, no more kitty cat for moderate men. These are just Republicans pretending to be moderate because they realize that they can't get laid. No more kitty cat for men who didn't vote, and especially no kitty cat for Republicans. We can't even afford to breathe near these men at this point. Number 2, go to Donald Trump's Instagram page and see which of your friends is following him. Remove those friends and block the men. We are no longer helping influencers and celebrities who support Donald Trump or decided to abstain this election or tried to be apolitical. Not only do you need to unfollow them, but you need to block them. Bye, Alex Earl and Kardashians. If you're a woman who doesn't want children, you need to have your tubal ligation scheduled yesterday. You have 3 months. This isn't a joke. And if you're a young woman who doesn't want to have babies anytime soon, get that birth control implant that lasts for 5 years. Or an IUD. One form of birth control that a man has access to, aka condoms, is basically no birth control. And if you're considering divorcing that man, do it now. You may not have that option. Women already have a hard time leaving their abusers. It's about to get way harder because they're coming after no-fault divorce. If you are a woman with any financial or hiring power, hire a woman. I don't care if you're hiring someone off of Fiverr to fix your resume. Make it a woman because those women in developing countries need the dollars. We have to uplift each other financially because that's the main thing that they're going to attack. Even reproductive rights is about cutting women off from money because they know that if a woman has her own money, she most likely isn't going to stay with a man. Save, save, save everything that you can because we are about to hit some shaky times, ladies. And if you have access, try to open a foreign bank account. If you think that women suffer at the hands of men now, you have no idea what's coming.
And all the girls is talking about the 4B movement. Are all the girls going to participate? Heck no. Because some women got to have a man on their arm. They got to be by a man 24/7. Now, for the girls that are married and married to a good man, I will say get an IUD, get a vasectomy, get tubes tied, get whatever you can so you don't conceive. Because honestly, I feel like people don't realize that an abortion is just not saying, hey, I don't want a baby, so I'm going to get one. It can happen when you are miscarrying and you have to get a medical abortion, or you're going. There's so many like examples. If you go out there and you just research, there's so many different examples of women that had to get an abortion because it was between them, the abortion, or their life. Like they were going to die. And many of them did. So I feel like people need to educate themselves on exactly what that is and what they consider an abortion to be. I just saw a woman talk about how she had a stillborn birth, and that was on her insurance. It was still considered an abortion because the child was not born alive. So we got to educate ourselves on terms and what they mean. Even people with children, and I know this sounds crazy. I don't even know if it's legal or not, but even your babies, because we have our, we get our periods at a young age. Get them on birth control. It's sad, I know, and it sounds crazy, but you got to do what you got to do because you don't know what rights are going to be taken away and what you can and what you can't do. So everybody just get on birth control and just, I don't know, keep your latest codes because it's scary.
You can't make this stuff up. In 2022, the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade, and they left it up to each state individually to decide whether or not abortions are legal in that state. Somehow, you emotional, most educated women are online putting out PSAs talking about, oh my God, now that Trump in office, we're going to have to implement the 4B movement and stop sleeping with these men. Or if we do, we got to be on some type of contraceptives, ladies. Or we got to make sure we using protection. Excuse me? It took for him to get in office for you to be doing something you should have been doing in the first place. You telling me it took him to get in office for you to practice sexual discipline? What's wrong with y'all? You okay? Are you okay? And again, let's recap. This is something that was overturned by the Supreme Court. This has nothing to do with Trump, right? Nothing to do with him. I'm in full agreement that women should have control over their body and what they do with it. But what I'm not in agreement with, Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, is you out here catching all these bodies and then going down to the clinic and then getting this abortion because you don't want no baby by Pookie, right? Y'all out here abusing abortions. No, I'm not in agreement with y'all abusing it because it's supposed to be the very last option. But y'all are using it as the first, right? You out here smashing all these different dudes. And then when you decide that you don't want no baby by said dude, then you going down here to the clinic and getting it taken care of. That's not cool. But do us and yourself a favor and educate yourself on where your anger should actually be directed at. Because right now, it's going in all the wrong places.
Girl, y'all talking about 4B movement. This whole time, I thought y'all was talking about hair. And I'm like, are y'all trying to say that 4B is the new Supreme? Like, it's no longer 4C, it's 4B? That's not what it means.
I'm ready to see the statistics on how many women are deleting their dating apps because mine are gone. Facebook dating they asked for a reason why you're leaving or whatever. One of them on there was, I fear for my safety or privacy. That's the one I chose. And there was like a second option. They were like, do you fear for your safety or your privacy? Safety. Gone. Hinge, gone. Tinder, gone. Bumble, gone. Let's do it. Let's do it. If they want to control our bodies, we're going to control our bodies first. You know what I mean? It's going to start with us saying no, honestly. No. And men aren't going to like that. And you know how men get when you say no. So you know what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to start men. You know what I mean? So I'm down for this. Down for it.
Now I'm all for the 4B movement. Do you hear me? But I didn't know I was already in it unintentionally. If you know, you know. Okay? I want y'all to go do your own research and come to your own conclusion, because you'll know what I'm talking about once you do. But did it start in North Korea or South Korea? I think it started in South Korea. If I'm not mistaken, it started in South Korea because the women were just so sick of the men being misogynistic, egotistical, and all this, that, and the third that they just had to. I want the people that don't know it to go look at it. But unfortunately, I'm in the 4B movement without trying. And I'm so upset. I'm hot every day. I'm having hot flashes. I am sweating, and I don't sweat. I glisten, but I've been sweating, and everything itch. I don't know.
As much as I hate to say it, a 4B movement is not going to happen in the United States. The fact of the matter is that white women, 60% of them voted for that man because they benefit from white supremacy. They didn't vote against their interests. It is in their interest to vote for that man. What I do think might happen, most likely, is that there'll be a decline in birth rates as more and more women from miscarriages that are totally preventable, that abortion could have saved their life. I think people are going to realize what the risk is here. The fact of the matter is that the rise in fascism, the implementation of aspects of Project 2025 is going to scare the shit out of a lot of people, a lot of women specifically. Like, they want to get rid of the Department of Education. A lot of people won't have the funds to provide a sufficient high quality education to their children. A lot of people won't be able to afford childcare. They can't even afford childcare now. And it's only going to get worse from here. The effects of climate change are going to be more and more apparent. Florida's probably going under, and women aren't going to want to bring that. They're not going to want to bring kids into the world. Not with how scary things are getting. At the end of the day, just be careful in choosing your partners. Avoid sex hookups as much as you possibly can unless you know that that person is trustworthy and is willing to support you and help you in any way that they can. Get on birth control. IUDs are a great form of birth control. They're horrific to go through, but it could save your life.
Okay, so I don't think most American women are going to be subscribing to the 4B movement, especially not like the baddies in Korea are doing it. Okay, nah. And this is for a number of different reasons that we could discuss, but here's what I'm hoping will happen. I'm hoping that more women will start to center themselves, prioritize themselves, put their safety first when they're dealing with men. A lot of us are watching too many romance movies. We are pedestalizing men and losing sight of who they really are to us. Simply just locking the hell in and focusing on us only is going to be a step in the right direction.
Black women anti-villainy is one of the best things to come from these election results. No more POC solidarity. It's about us and black women only, thank you. If the building is burning down, get someone else to put out the fire. We are not your collective help, your advocates. We are not doing that. We advocate for us and for us only, because you have proven that you will not help us, so we will help ourselves. Black Women's Project 2025 is to rest radically, okay? Wild feminine, primal, intuitive rest. We need to rest in our intuition. We need to rest, period. And no sex, because in order to honor your sensuality, men don't deserve to touch you, much more be inside of you. So none of that. I am all for the 4B movement. Like, go ahead. You know, if you do want to have a baby, that's your choice. And I'm for the babies. I'm a baby girl. Okay. Well, not baby. Well, that too. But I'm a pro baby girl. But whatever you want to do, it has to be your choice as long as you're safe. But do not have sex with these men. Get off the dating apps. Delete the Tinder. Get it deleted. It's low frequency anyway. Get rid of it. No 75 hard, no winter arc. Black women need to rest. That's gonna be your 75 challenge. Okay, nothing for black women should be hard. Nothing should be challenging at this point. We've had enough challenges. We spent the whole time campaigning this, that, and it didn't even matter. But you know what? That's the good thing that came of it. Now we get to rest. Now we get to be about ourselves, and we can see the chips fall where they may. So yeah, you know, black women, just go ahead and rest. Go ahead. Just get that rest that you need. Be the wild feminine. That's If you need to scream, scream. If you need to order that triple dipper from Chili's, order that triple dipper. This is, someone said airport rules. Yes, and I full agreement. If I hear 175 hard, you need this, and this, you're getting blocked. Because we don't need that energy right now. Okay. Sidebar, did you know I was losing weight and all these things by being intuitive and resting more and eating when I was hungry than I did trying to push myself, trying to get these 10,000 steps a day? Oh my gosh. And I'm such a glow up girl. Like my channel, my name is called, Glow in Peace and everything. But there's a time to rest and there's a time to put in this work. There's a time to rest right now and we need to rest.
As much as I understand why people are talking about the 4B movement right now, I think we need to be realistic and come to terms with the fact that American women are nowhere near ready for this level of social protest. 51% of women voted for Donald Trump. That is over a majority. 60% of white women voted for Donald Trump. The reality is that most women are not interested in decentering men, and that is because we are so deeply socialized since birth to believe that our worth and our happiness and our livelihood is contingent on how males perceive us and our value according to men. I think that especially recently, with how choice feminism has seemed to become the predominant ideology, we are not going to get people on board with doing what is probably a really extreme form of protest to most people. We can't even get people to accept that feminism is not about choice, and never has been. That feminism does not boil down to, oh, I want to be a housewife, or oh, I want to go into the workforce. We can't even get people to agree that feminism is supposed to be for women and does not cater to men. We can't even get people to agree that there are choices that are not feminist. We can't even get people to think deeply about why they do social behaviors like shave and wear makeup without it being coined as white feminism. So women are not going to give up sex and stop getting in relationships and completely go into celibacy and abstinence and singleness because of the outcome of this election. I'm not saying this to be pessimistic. I'm not saying this to drag down anyone who has hope for the 4B movement or wants to participate in it. I'm just saying we need to start from the ground up if we want the social direction to go this way. We need to start having conversations within our own communities, as white women especially, about what it means to decenter men. We also need to stop this new wave of anti-intellectualism, because I'm sorry, but we're never going to deconstruct patriarchy. We're never going to understand why humans behave the way they behave, especially under the lens of gender, if you cannot think deeply about why you do the things that you do, because some things are that deep. If you are new to this concept of decentering men, here are some things that I implore you to think about. 1, have you truly benefited from hookup culture and online dating? Have you truly felt gratified and pleased and respected and valued in the dating realm, in the sexual realm? Are hookups really fulfilling to you? Is giving men access to your body serving you in a way that is fulfilling and makes you feel whole? Are you content with the way that men in your real life interact with you? Are you content with the things that they say to you, with the jokes that they make, with the comments that they make? Are you content with your ability to talk about women's issues and lives around these men in your life, in your real life, not just online? I want you to think about, really deeply think about, your interactions with men in your real life that have given you a sense of purpose, that have truly made you feel happy and fulfilled and satisfied. List them if you can. Can you list more than 5? I think women who have experience with hookup and online dating culture can really start to tap into this, because you can really sit with yourself after those situations and think about, how did that make me feel at my core? Do I feel valued? Do I feel fulfilled? Or do I feel like a meat vessel that was used for someone else's gratification? When 99% of the time you aren't getting any sexual gratification yourself out of those interactions, like, let's be for real. So I'm not saying that you have to be abstinent and single for the rest of your life, that you have to be lonely and miserable and die alone. I'm saying consider why you give men access to your body, access to your time, access to your emotional labor. What are you getting in return? I want you to think like a man for a second. What are you getting out of this interaction? How are you benefiting? Outside of you being socialized to please men and be nice to them all the time, what are you actually getting out of this?
This is why when we say be very intentional about your life, this is what we're talking about. Go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this amazing conversation that we are having about the 4B movement being active in the United States. Go down and share your thoughts. But please, as always, keep it respectful. You're on this channel. We're allowed to disagree, but we'll do it in a respectful way. So go ahead, feel free. Share your thoughts, okay? And let me know, do you think that the 4B movement will be active in the United States? Do you think the ladies, the women in the United States, do you think they are ready for the 4B movement? Let me know your own take down in the comment section. The last creator just said a whole lot of things that resonate so much with me, because a lot of the time when we talk about the sentiment, talking about know yourself, heal your trauma, unlearning a lot of the things that society has embedded in us, especially as women. Some women were like, oh, this is the way this one. I have this type of women in my society that just go with the norm, what society expect of us as women, as young girls, what is being embedded in us. And sometimes it really takes a lot for you to ask why, because sometimes when you ask them why, sometimes they don't even know. Sometimes when I ask people, why do you want kids, they don't even know. When I ask people, say, why do you even want a man, they don't even know, like, oh, somebody. And when you even have the conversation with them, like, okay, even the having sexual pleasures and all that, do you actually get to that place where you're pleasure, or you just pleasure him and then you conceal yours? And most times most women said yes. And the truth is that when it comes to the dynamic with a man and a woman's relationship, I know we need each other in terms of humanity, humans. We need ourselves as people to coexist, to live happily and all that. But the truth is that as women, like we always talk about here on this channel, be very intentional. I'm not telling anybody not to be with a man. I'm not telling anybody not to date a man, not to have kids. But the truth is that ask yourself, why do you want to do it? Is it for you? Is it for society standards? Is it for this man? Are you looking after yourself? Are you putting yourself first? Are you being very intentional about yourself, like putting yourself first and being selfish? Because obviously they capitalize the word selfish as a bad word, which to me it's not a bad word. For me, selfish is just putting yourself first. And with the fact that the right to your body as women will be taken away from you as a woman, that's really a big deal for you to really be very intentional. Because when anything go wrong, because I feel like the hookup culture and just having babies, getting pregnant, has made some women really just feel like they can sleep with anybody, get pregnant, and oh, we'll just go remove it. Which I kind of understand where people are coming from. That why does it have to take this election for you to see that you have to protect yourself, you have to love yourself, you have to treat yourself with grace, with attention, with care? Why does it have to take for Trump to be elected into as president for you to even like, okay, we have to activate this? We talked about the 4B movement before, but why is it not that okay now it has to be activated? Because so if not that now, why were you not ask yourself, why were you not putting yourself first? Why were you not considering yourself, your health? Because you're the ones that's going to go through the medical procedure to even have an abortion, and you have to really protect yourself. Talking about even no divorce, on the whole divorce thing, that divorce will not be easy for women. You have to protect yourself, and this is why we always talk about, yeah, the person you choose to live your life with or even have kids with is very, very important. So be very intentional about it. Why won't you take your time to be very intentional with who you want to have your kids with, and then even get into marriage? Because where the way it might be going from the project in 2025 is that this thing is going to be really hard, I think, especially in the United States. It's already hard here in my country. So why are you not protecting yourself as a woman? Ask yourself why. Like, why will you let down that wall without you protecting yourself? Because of how we've been raised. But anyway, I find this conversation very, very interesting. Want to really know your own take down in the comment section. Do I think the 4B movement will work in the United States? Yes and no. I feel like it will work because women, we're talking to ourselves, we're clocking it. We are going to, yes, there are some women that still needs the male gaze and validation. We're not going to take that, especially white women, because they proved themselves in this election. But also, I feel like We are talking to ourselves now, and some women now are asking us, not a lot yet, but some women are asking the question why, and be very intentional in their life. So yeah, I feel like it will take time for it to really get a strong momentum in the United States. But in my country, I don't think the 4B movement will ever be a thing for the next 5 to 10 years. Anyway, guys, go down and share your thoughts. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see. And that'll be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.